Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Book Review Blog. Today we're going to review the book From a Buick 8 by Stephen King. This book is, I guess, very much like his previous book of Christine, where it's about a car. The main kind of plot circles around a car, and it's based in Western Pennsylvania, where they mention they don't mention Christine itself, but they mention things that Christine mentioned more with Western Pennsylvania. Like they mention the university, Horlicks University, which is a fictional university in Stephen King land. But in the book Christine, Arnie Cunningham's parents, or one or both of his parents, worked for Horlicks. So anyway, again, like I said, the book focuses on not a Pontiac Firebird, or Plymouth Fury, excuse me, that's what Christine was, I'm sorry, but a Buick Roadmaster. And the premise of the book starts with the present day, which is, I think, 2002, when Stephen King wrote the book, and it focuses on the Pennsylvania State Police in Western Pennsylvania. And there was an officer named Kurt Wilcox who, at the beginning of the book, had just recently died. He was, died in the line of duty, I would say, but he wasn't, killed by, an assailant or a gunman. He was doing something on duty, but he was struck by a drunk driver. And so after Kurt had died, his son, Ned, who was, I think, 18 when the book started, had just kind of shown up around the police barracks, and the other police officers they liked Ned, they knew him ever since he grew, as he was growing up. And Ned was kind of asking around about his father, and one of the things that Ned kind of came across was in one of the sheds of the police barracks, he noticed that they had this Buick laying around, and he wondered why they had this. And so the current Sarge of this police, the state police, is a man named Sandy Dearborn, I think is his name. And he was like, oh, well, Ned, that really inquires a tale that we have to tell you, a master tale of little stories all about this Buick, because it has quite a story for the Pennsylvania State Police. So they begin to tell the story, and one of the things about this book that may be a little confusing is that they bounce back and forth from the past to the present. I mean, he does it pretty fluidly, and mostly when he does it, because the titles, there's no chapters in this book exactly, but it bounces from then to now, and so obviously all that part. So anyway, when it bounces to then, the then that it starts with is in 1979, and the state police were reporting a call made from a man, I believe his first name was Brad. I don't remember his last name, but anyway, Brad was a gas station attendant who was working, and this guy drove up in this Buick Roadmaster, and the guy who drove up went to use the bathroom, and according to Brad, never returned. So now Brad is stuck with this Buick and wondering what to do with it. So he calls the police, and the police take it from him. So that's how the police get this Buick. And of course, they do the police paperwork of trying to find the owners of this Buick, and nothing happens. But one of the things that they notice also about this Buick is that from the outside it looks like a normal Buick, or a normal car, but once you look in the inside, it looks like an inside, but nothing works correct. There's a steering wheel, but it's not a steering wheel. It's it could be, cardboard, paper, towel tubes for all, its purpose. The dashboard looks like a normal dashboard, but it's like painted on, if you want to say, or stuff, with stickers and all that. So, the mystery is, how did it get to the gas station in the first place? And so that's the first of many unknown questions that keeps arising about this car. And so again, the main book is that it bounces again back and forth as the Pennsylvania State Police officers and other people associated with the Pennsylvania State Police tell Ned the story of how his father, Kurt, got involved with this car. Because Kurt was heavily involved with figuring out about this car. And it deals with a lot of science fiction things where, like, there's like kind of a portal in the car that's being done by its trunk. Like, every time that the trunk opens, they have what's called light quakes. It's not earthquakes where the ground doesn't rumble or anything, but they'll show, like, it'll be like a firework display in this shed, because the car doesn't go anywhere. And then after every light quake and the Buick's trunk is open, something will happen where, like, something will fly out of the trunk from another world, or unfortunately sometimes things from the Pennsylvania State Police go into the car, or into the trunk, into this other portal. So for me, I don't want to say that this book really didn't need to be written. I mean, I'm not a science fiction writer or enthusiast, so I didn't like it probably because of that. Now, if you are a science fiction enthusiast, you might understand it better than I did and be able to appreciate it definitely more than I did. Again, it was one of those books that I think that I tried to read at a time in my life, just pick up a random Stephen King book and read, but I never finished it because I just didn't get attached to it. But I read because I'm trying to read all of his books now. So anyway, I'm glad I read it just so I can say, hey, I've read this book. But again, if you like that type of book and you might want to read about, kind of haunted cars again, pick it up. And good luck to you with that. The next books that I'm going to read and review, I'm not sure in which order, but I'm currently reading the Faithful book by Stephen King and Stuart Onan about the 2004 Boston Red Sox. And I'm also reading The Colorado Kid by Stephen King. So one of these hopefully will be my next review. So I bid you all farewell and happy reading.